Montreal Canadiens beat the Vancouver Canucks 6-2 tonight, February 1st, 2021. My name is Parker, and this is your post-game recap for the Habs and Canucks Game 1 of this little two-game set. So coming into this game, Canucks are 6-5, Habs are 5-1-2. Canucks are on a 4-game winning streak after playing 3 games against Ottawa and then beating the Jets on Saturday night. Canucks coming into this one third in the North against the second in the North, Montreal Canadiens. Starting goalies for this one, we kind of expected would be Demko. It ended up being Holtby and Carey Price. Holtby comes into this one with a 3-2 record, Price with a 3-0-2 record. Holtby has a 906 and a 317, and then Carey Price at an 898 save percentage and a 2.42 goals against average. So goaltending matchup on paper looks pretty even. The game did not end up even, though. Lineup changes for this one. Jake Vertanin came in for Antoine Roussel. Seems to me like Travis Green just want to sort of shake things up. Maybe give Roussel a bump. Give him, a jolt of energy. Maybe he'll come back in tomorrow night. I thought Jake played well. We'll get to that in our pluses and minuses for this game. A minute in, we got sort of the classic Canucks Twitter thing where they basically say, "Game on, Habs score." Just a minute into the game, Nick Suzuki is left all alone in front. There are 4 Canucks lined up right next to Holtby. 2 on one side, 2 on the other, standing on the goal line. Suzuki's in the slot. He gets the pass, beats Holtby to make it 1-0. 5 minutes into the first period, Kotkaniemi takes a tripping penalty on Jalen Chatfield. Gaudette would then give the puck away as the last man back, which ended up being a trend for this one. Lehkonen knocked the puck away from him, ended up going in all by himself, beat Braden Holtby on the backhand to make it 2-0, and another shorthanded goal against the Canucks this year. 3 minutes later, Adam Gaudette comes in and tries to make up for it. 3-on-2 with Sutter and McEwen. Ends up just taking a shot. He kind of flubs it. It looked like it might have got tipped, but I don't think it was. It just sort of fluttered past Carey Price and in to make it 2-1. So Canucks look like they're coming back into this one. Mott took a tripping penalty at 9 minutes to go in the first. That got killed off. 3 minutes to go in the first period, so a late period chance here. Canucks lose the puck in the corner of the defensive zone. It comes all the way out to a wide open Jeff Petry had just come off the boards. That's JT Miller's guy, but Miller just didn't see him. So Petry's just standing there. The entire Canucks team is in the corner. He takes a good second and a half, 2 seconds, lines up the shot, rips it past Holtby to make it 3-1. Shots in the first period, 11-10 in favor of Vancouver, but nothing was as high percentage as those Montreal chances. In the second period, Tyler Myers takes another penalty. He's up to 27 penalty minutes on the year. That got killed off. 7.5 minutes or so into the second period, Jalen Chatfield with a giveaway to Brendan Gallagher. He goes on a breakaway, beats Holtby on the backhand as well. It's 4-1. A minute and a half later, the Habs come in on a 4-on-2. Corey Perry and Jeff Petry end up converging on the net. Perry taps it over. Petry's got a wide open net to make it 5-1. Travis Green took a timeout here. And he was ripping into the lotto line, really ripping into everyone. And then he threw the lines in the blender, just because why not, right? And this is something I mentioned on the broadcast, something I thought about as well. It's like, well, you can't really take Holtby out because you play tomorrow. So you want Demko to play tomorrow. You want him to be fresh for tomorrow's game. So you're not able to make a goalie change. Not that a goalie change would have really mattered, really just a confidence thing. Couple minutes later, penalty for Victor Mete. He got called for hooking Jake Vertanin, even though Vertanin was the one doing the hooking. I thought that was kind of funny. Gaudette took a hooking penalty with 4 minutes to go in the second period, hooked up Tatar. And then a minute into that, Tyler Toffoli scores again against the Canucks. Shea Weber sort of played it in front to him. Basically, a shot came from the point, hit Tyler Myers in the leg. Myers sort of went down in pain. And then there's an open passing lane off the rebound for Weber to play it in front for Toffoli, who had the wide open net to make it 6-1. And into the second period, shots are 15-8 Montreal in the second. Into the third, Zach McEwen gets slashed by Tatar. Decent shift from power play 1. Again, they can't score. 8 minutes to go in the third. Edler plays it down low for Tyler Mott. He feeds Jay Beagle in front, who beats Carey Price to make it 6-2. There's life with 8 minutes to go. And then late in the game, 2.5 minutes to go, the Canucks are just in the Habs zone, and out of nowhere, the puck is just flipped out, and Josh Anderson just skates past everybody and has a breakaway. out of nowhere. It got stopped by Holtby. But then again, 10 seconds to go, Jake Evans also just had a random breakaway. No line change or anything. It was just a mess. Shots in the third period, 15-10 in favor of Montreal. Total for the game, 40 for Montreal, 29 for Vancouver. On to our plus and minuses segment. So after every game, we go into my thoughts on the pluses and the minuses. We're going to start with the minuses because this game was a disaster. And the big thing, and I wrote this down about 6 minutes into the game, thinking, well, maybe I'll just cross it out if this doesn't keep happening, right? I can write it down now. I'll exit out if this stops. The turnovers. This happened early and it happened often. Just bad giveaways to people who are wide open. You're the last man back. You're supposed to make the safe play, just giving it away. A few goals came off of that for Montreal tonight, and that was really the big issue in this one. The Lotto line was -9 in this game. They were -9 in the second period. Just a mess. A messy game from the Lotto line. They couldn't get anything going offensively, and then in their own zone, they just couldn't get the puck out of the zone. Ended up allowing 3 goals against that line at even strength, making them -9. And another big minus here is the inconsistency. And we saw at the beginning of the season, they started out terrible, right? And then they come out and they play great for 4 games. They crush Ottawa. People are like, oh, it's just Ottawa. Let's see if they can beat Winnipeg. And they go out and they beat Winnipeg pretty handily. And then they come out here and they just lay a complete egg. So they're right back down at 500. And then 35 plus shots against again. I think the Canucks are allowing something like 37 shots against per game. Another 40 on this one, so that's probably up another little bit, 37.5, 38. You can't win games allowing 35 shots. Otherwise, you need to score 5 goals. Your goalie needs to stay on his head. That's the only way that works. I have one that's in the middle. That's half minus, half plus. And that's what the Canucks play again against Montreal tomorrow. This could go either way. It could be, all right, Montreal has all the momentum. They just killed you. And they're just going to keep rolling into the next one. The other hand, after a bad loss like that, sometimes all you want is just to play another game right away. You don't want to rest. You don't want to stew on it. Just get out there, play another game, play your best, and try to get one back. So that one's kind of in the middle. On the plus side, I have Jake Vertanin. He actually was pretty good. He was throwing the body around. He had 5 hits in this one. He looked pretty engaged. All in all, I think he stepped into the lineup pretty well for Roussel. And I don't think he comes out tomorrow. He was by no means the biggest issue on the ice. If they do want to put Roussel back in, I don't know who you take out because everyone was pretty bad. The people who would be at your top of the list for who to take out would probably be Jake Vertanen and Tyler Mott, and they were the best 2 Canucks tonight. So I don't know what you do there. Another plus, maybe the Canucks are tired. They have played 12 games, the most by far in the NHL. And they've played we're 3 weeks into the season. They started literally, we're 20 days into the season. The Canucks have played 12 games, right? They played 4 games in the first week, 4 games last week, 4 games coming up through today. So they've had a really tight schedule. They play again tomorrow, and then this road trip keeps going. So maybe a plus we can look at here is that down the stretch, they will be playing less often, and that might be an advantage later on in the season, especially if they're still close in the standings. If they're within a couple of points, and now they're getting nice breaks between all their games while the other teams are playing 4 games in 6 nights like the Canucks have been, then that could be an advantage later on. Better third period. I think the Canucks had a decent third period. Again, the score in the third was 1-0 Vancouver, so that's good. And that's barring I wrote that before the last 3 minutes when they just gave up 2 random breakaways out of nowhere. But the Canucks played a lot better third period, and that was something they had to do, which is regroup, play a decent third, and take that into next game. And so you can focus on, in the morning skate, you can say, or if there is a morning skate, otherwise just in a meeting in the morning and say, look, our third period, we hung with them, we played well. And part of that, of course, is Montreal was just sitting back protecting a 6-1 lead, but it's the little victories at this point. Maybe Montreal used up all their goals. They only needed to score 3 to win tonight. They scored 6. Well, now they've wasted some goals. So maybe Maybe they're not going to be able to score as many tomorrow. And then Thatcher Demko will obviously be in tomorrow after Holtby. Holt, there was a ton of grade A chances. Obviously, some you want Holtby to make some big saves and keep the team in it, but you can't expect him to make those saves. Just a disaster on the defensive side. Game pucks for this one. So after every game, we give out our game pucks, one to each team. Easy one for Montreal. It's going to be Jeff Petry. He had a great game. Again, I think he leads Montreal in scoring still. He was excellent. Yeah, he jumped in on the rush. He scored that one goal with the wrister from the point. He jumped in on the rush to score that goal off the Corey Perry pass. I think he had a good game. For Vancouver, I'm going to go Tyler Mott. He had only the one assist on the Jay Beagle goal late, but I had this written down before that. He was by far the most engaged player in the Canucks. He was the only noticeably good player for the Canucks tonight. He also had 6 hits. I looked up right at the end of the game. I checked. He had 6 hits. So I think Mott was the bright spot for Vancouver in this one. Obviously, the Canucks play again tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. against Montreal again. We're going to see Thatcher Demko in against Jake Allen, which, hopefully Thatcher Demko can come out and lay a solid performance, and the Canucks can build off of this third period and come out and have a bit of a better night tomorrow. All right, that's all I've got. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe if you want more of these post-game recaps. Of course, we'll have one after the game tomorrow. On Wednesday, we'll have a preview for the Toronto Maple Leafs series to end off this road trip for the Canucks. That's all I've got for you tonight, and I will see you tomorrow.